All right. Let's get it fucking going. Bro, I don't know. How in the fuck do we leave a chat where this guy, Kenny Powers, is in the chat? I literally said I'm leaving to start the fucking space, and he's still 5 minutes late. How in the fuck does this happen, Kyle?
I don't know, buddy.
After fucking, what, 5 years? This motherfucker wasn't even here yesterday, and then he can't even... Literally just got off a call with him. God oh fucking mighty, man. Oh.
He's probably still sitting in the VC.
I know.
No shirt on, hand down his fucking gym shorts, just scratching his balls.
I know. Where'd everybody go?
Gee golly gosh, where is everybody?
Where'd everybody go? Yeah, I don't, man. Fuck me running. Yeah, I don't get it. Either way, a lot of stuff to get covered today. Welcome back, all the Creep fam. I see y'all in the audience. It's good to see so many familiar faces. A lot of stuff to get into. Whether you're on X Spaces, we are also live on YouTube, Kick, Abstract, and X on video, where I'm live. Kyle's at work, and Kenny is nowhere to be found. So, but yeah, we appreciate you being here. So, just drop any comments, questions that you might have, and we're gonna get into it. So, where in the fuck? What was I? Oh, I have everything pinned up to the top already. Check out all the pinned posts pinned up there. A lot of good information with everything that I seen on my timeline. If there's something that you want to shout out about, then just drop it in the comments, and we will look into it. So let me get
hey, real quick,
fashionably late Kenny Powers in. What's up?
Oh yeah, let's get him up here first because he might actually be on here. There is a mint going right now that you might be on the whitelist for. I'm not sure. It's the Gloombles. And I had guaranteed for this. I don't really remember why.
Okay.
But I was on GTD. I don't know if that came from racers or NPCs or what the hell. But that first come, first serve phase starts, I think, at 11:15. So if you're on GTD, you might want to go mint that real quick.
I am. Thank you for the shout out. Gloombles. I don't know how I got fucking whitelist for this, but let's go.
It seems like we got it a while ago, and then they just took a while to get to the mint. So
we are minting Gloombles. Flip CryptoPunks with haste is all I can say. But anyways, yeah. Kenny Powers, I guess fashionably late. What's up? I need to swap.
Back in action. Back in action.
Yeah, bro, we literally just left a call together, and you still come in 8 minutes late. How can you explain this to me?
Dude, it's trash day, so
what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Put the trash out the night before.
Yeah, well, just gotta do what I gotta do, bro.
I'm with Kenny on this. I don't know why I would never put the trash out the night before, when instead I could already be running late to work and then realize at the last moment that I also still need to take the trash down, thus causing me to be even more late to work on a Monday morning. Anyway.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I wrecked them. Well, anyways, Kenny, everything good with you? You weren't here yesterday. I was going to do like a Solana versus Robinhood meme fucking conversation. Totally missed the window for that one. Kyle was just insanely busy at work. He couldn't really do anything to help the space.
Yeah, but she's still got it, dude. She's just fucking stream of consciousness, just yapped for a full hour, dude. It's pretty impressive.
It wasn't that bad. But anyways, yeah, it a lot of stuff that we ended up just rambling on about. Simple Farmer's coming up with haste, and I want to see what he is what we are talking about here. I'm bringing
I distinctly remember Jesus before you remember what the Jesus's last words before he left the call, Kenny Powers? I don't give a fuck who it is. If it ain't fucking Adam Weitzman or the motherfucking new Creepz team, we ain't bringing them up. Huh? Look at that, Simple Farmer, man. You got motion, brother.
Simple Farmer
you made Jesus a hypocrite in the first 5 minutes of the space.
No. So Simple Farmer is supposed to come in tomorrow for the space. Maybe but either way, if Simple Farmer requests to come on the fucking stage, he gets to come on the stage. So no, we're definitely going to bring him up. GM Simple Farmer, what is cracking, bro?
Hey, GM guys.
GM.
Yeah, I mean, I actually have it in my notes as Thursday.
Oh,
do you? Supposed to come
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. do you want me to come up now or?
It's whatever, bro. Yeah, we can run through some shit real quick. If you want to do it proper, we can do it tomorrow. Fucking be on stream and lock in and talk about stonk brokers for a good 30-40 minutes tomorrow.
First, I need to take apparently I need to take control of the reality check calendar.
No, you do not.
I don't know what this fucking guy's doing.
No, you do not. I'm going to check my conversation with with him, but either way, yeah. It's whatever way you want to roll, bro. It's up to you. We I am game either which way because I know fuck you. What did you just drop last night? Because I do have that pinned up to the top.
Yeah, so I think that like we can just do like smart things. And I was thinking about like credit cards, like cashback rewards cards, where you're just buying things and you get that little bit of back every time. I think people really like that. It's obviously something that works. And I don't know why like we would trade on OpenSea and just give this punching corporation a ton of money. And when we essentially could have the same structure, because I'm using the same infrastructure that OpenSea uses for swaps, 100% same. I'm using Relay. And the only difference is instead of the fee going to the company, the fee is going to the stockbrokers. So like, why wouldn't users just have this digital piggy bank that recycles rewards from every single swap? So it's like, if you're going to buy a meme coin, if you're going to buy this, if you're going to do this, just use the desk on the stockbrokers app, and you get a little bit back every time if you have activated brokers. I just think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So, and then 100% from what this tweet says, 100% of swap fees are routed to the stock booster. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. We're not taking anything for protocol on that one.
Nice. Okay. Well, I mean, that's another fucking another key utility. I know the video was dope as shit with the launch pad that's coming. And me and Kenny have had this conversation. Why is the Stonk launch pad any different than Pons or any of the other launch pads that are coming? Like, why would anybody even want to use it?
Yeah, of course. Look, I think the key thing is really community. I think that's like one thing that NFTs get right that nobody else gets right. And it's just NFTs get community right, but then they still have no value in their JPEGs or their floor because it's just an illiquid asset that's difficult to access and people are just speculating on meme coins because they know they can get listed on Robinhood centralized exchange, on Kraken, etc. With the actual launchpad that we're doing, we're going to have like a lot of dynamics. You'll be able to launch coins paired with NVIDIA, paired with SpaceX. I know there is a coin that's already paired with NVIDIA that's doing well, but any stock token that becomes available on Robinhood chain, you'll be able to pair with on this launchpad. And also we're going to have a special feature, like I mentioned, where we're actually going to have some VRNG influence on which meme coin wins. And so that means that it's going to be an exceptionally fair process. It's not just going to be connected to whatever a KOL picks up. It's going to be much more curated. I think the stockbrokers community themselves are going to have major influence over which tokens do well on this launchpad. And I think that's actually a good thing for the trenches as a whole. And then I think in general, what I'm trying to bring on is high-level developers to drop their experiments. So essentially, you'll have a bonding curve section, custom launches, which is going to be like things like strategy tokens, tax tokens, etc. And then the third section is going to be special projects. And so this special project section are going to be tokens that are deployed by like what I consider highly underrated, great developers and founders in the space, trying to give them a little bit of extra platform and boost. So we have the slop father, Michael Hirsch, coming in. He's going to do an early launch. We have a couple of the folks who developed on Ape Chain who did really cool and good projects that I thought were underrated. And I'm just going to keep trying to bring in more people there just as I reach out to some of my connections and other developers that I've built with in the space. Because right now, a lot of these meme coins are getting farmed. Like on Pons, it's built in a way that 70% of creator fees are going back to 70% of fees are going back to the creators of the meme coins, which is like fine, right? That it's like, okay, you're incentivizing people to launch tokens on your launchpad. It makes sense in theory. In practice, what ends up happening is that the Solana people come through and they launch millions of coins and they just farm the fuck out of them and they eat on those fees. And so what you get is a ton of coins, but no actual good runners or quality tokens come through. And I think that the idea for Pons was pretty solid, like using those fees and then burning the token. But actually it ends up being really, really problematic because there's no point. The Pons asset isn't actually connected. There's no reward for getting those fees. You're just banking on deflation. So if their fees start to go down, then they're in real trouble.
Yeah, Kenny, what is your take on like Pons? Because there's an article that Simple Form actually shared with me, and I have it pinned at the top, and it breaks all that down of like how they're distributing the fees. And if like we noticed a lot of their tokens dropped yesterday significantly, right? I don't know what caused that.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a pretty broad sell-off across most of Robinhood coins over the past 24, 48 hours, which is, it's going to have peaks and valleys, right? There's going to be heavy volume and then slower volume, but yeah, who knows? Maybe a lot of those coins were bundled right off the rip, and these serial deployers decided to kind of start clipping out of their bundles all at the same time. I can't pinpoint the reason as to why it happened. Does it change my view on Robinhood? Absolutely not. I still think Robinhood has the funnel of 27 million people right onto the Robinhood chain through their app. I still think it's, going to pick up. Granted, it's been 3 weeks now, so it's still relatively new. But yeah, the Pons, the Launchpad. Look, I get the flywheel part of it, right? Kind of taking the approach of the buyback and burn, to help stabilize the price of the coin. A lot of people using it, a lot of launch pads. A lot of coins being launched on it. I believe they flipped Pump Fund a couple days and, tokens created over the past week. So how do I feel about it? I think there's room for improvement as far as the launch pad goes. So I'm curious to see what, Simple Farmer does on his launch pad.
I'm actually, I'll give you guys an idea. I'm toying with whatever I'll build in public. I really think VRNG needs to be involved in meme coins, because when meme coins don't involve anything that's verifiably random, it's really a rigged game, and it's really not a good experience for people. That's different than a slot machine, which is also, a slot machine is not a good experience, but it's actually random, right? There's an RTP attached. With meme coins, there's no RTP. And actually, if you look at the average RTP of Pump Fund, people lose by far the most money on platforms like Pump Fund. I think only something like 10,000 people in history have made more than $1,000 on Pump Fund. So it's some crazy stat like that.
Percentage of profitable traders.
Yeah, it's not very many. Yeah,
right. So that's a poor experience. That's a very bad experience, because it's the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and then everybody leaves. Everyone's like, "Fuck this." I think VRNG needs to be involved, and I'm right now working on toying with a couple principles. One of them that I really like is that I've set a charge bar on the top where approximately a quarter of the fees generated by the Launchpad are getting filled into this pool. And then we're dropping clock in as the feature there, except when this pool gets filled with a relatively large amount of ETH, the clock in feature will actually use VRNG and deploy those funds into one of the top 10 tokens that are near the bonding curve, essentially causing that one token to spike hard with buy pressure. And those tokens that get distributed from that buy pressure will go into the stockbroker wallets. Now, the question is, do I let anybody click that button? Or is that a button that I leave reserved for brokers to click? I'm leaning towards letting everybody do it, just to not let anybody feel excluded there.
Yeah, this is bro, the amount of shit that you're dropping, I didn't think the swap would come in yet. So when I was just looking right here, I was trying to do one of the stock tokens that I had in my wallet, but it was saying no route found possible for that. Is it going to be to where I will be able to swap any of these stocks that I'm getting? Will that eventually end up coming into play?
Look, just from a legal standpoint, so people know that you're actually not allowed to swap stock tokens in the United States. That's not allowed. So I have cheeses since you're in the United States. I can't advise you on that. I would recommend maybe reaching. I would recommend reaching out to some people in the Discord. But yeah, you can trade. People in Europe and globally can trade stock tokens on Robinhood chain via an app called Rialto.
Okay. All right. So what other the Launchpad goes live in 8 days, 8 hours. What is there going to be any ETH fees for launching the token? Because I know when you do the loans on here, there's a fee. There's it did populate at first, but there's a percentage fee up front. How is that going to cost? Like, how's that going to work? If I want to go on, I want to launch a token, and I'm launching ticker Kenny on the platform. Can you kind of walk us through that process yet, or is it a little too early?
No, for sure. Look, so all of these tokens, for the most part, unless you have special tax features on your token, which I'm going to allow people to also, you'll be able to deploy a Kenny token, have a 3% tax on the token, and you'll be able to direct that 3% tax to any wallet you want. And then you can do with it what you want. So I had a guy who deployed an agent, actually the automated stock trading agent. And I told him yesterday, I said, look, you're going to have this feature on the launchpad on day one. Why don't you set your agent's wallet for ETH and put a 3% tax on the token? Call it agent, whatever, Agent Smith, and let the agent autonomously trade stock tokens on Robinhood chain. And at the end of the month, sell the profits and use it to swap into the token. Like there's a product right there because he already had the autonomous agent built. And so I think that's like a really interesting thing that people are watching this AI trade. He's maybe tinkering with which model is doing the trading, et cetera, et cetera. The other thing is just like classic bonding curve. Those will go into V3 uni pools with a 1% fee. And then that 1% fee will be divvied up with a little bit going to the creator, of course, but also a substantial amount going towards this system that is going to employ VRNG and going into the stock booster distributor, which is, the thing that actually generates the fees for the brokers.
Yeah.
Very cool. The interesting thing about ticker Kenny is the chart is always 8 minutes behind the actual token price.
No shit.
It's a new utility. It's a new on-chain experiment that we're going to run here with ticker Kenny.
Clock in, Kenny. What the fuck are you doing? So Simple Farmer, damn it, Kyle, you distracted me with what I was going to ask him next. Because it wasn't like super important. The giveaway that you did for the AI, for building something with an AI agent, is this the project that ended up winning? Did you already announce that?
No, this is actually another. I mean, the person who ended up winning was another person than who I advised to do this token launch, because the person I advised to do a token launch is actually somebody who's deployed projects on chain before and done so pretty successfully. Because when I'm trying to draft valuable players, I'm trying to pick up people who have experience with successful launches, and that's why I'm advising that. But the first guy who deployed the agent, he did so, using AI and Cloud Code, vibe coded it, which is just fine. And it was successfully trading. So yeah, shout out to him. That was Theory. Is his name. He's a community member.
Nice. How fast did it take for that to go live? Like, how fast did he get it done?
I think it was 2 or 3 hours from the post.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Damn. That's pretty wild. Yeah. I sent it to a friend. This guy claims to be like a crack vibe coding dev. And he said, sorry, bro, I don't have enough time to get that done. And that was, right after I sent the post. So if he's that crack, I mean, I think 3 hours, he could have knocked that out pretty quick. Yeah. So people just don't want to put the fucking work in.
Does your crack dev's name rhyme with schmoose? Perhaps?
No, it doesn't. But how many cool products did you see out of that little contest?
A lot. I think there were 6 people who deployed bots. And like I said, one of them was actually a person I know who successfully deployed projects before. And that's why I told him to do this idea with this interesting token launch that I think would be a really good early launch pad token for us there. And we actually had a lot of people, like there's like 3 or 4 people who are just like independent developers who built really great like informational websites showing who has the most clock-ins, which broker owns the most stock, like the most valuable broker based on stocks held, the person who has the most activated brokers. Like this data, people are creating these great aggregation websites, which has been a real joy to see. So it looks like we already have a lot of community developers here with us.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. Last night I was helping a guy named Brand. I think he's in the audience. He said he's here every day. If he's not here and he said I'm here every day, I don't even see him. Where is this guy? Let me look and see. Maybe I don't see him because he changed his fucking PFP. But I helped him last night get a stonk broker, answered a shit ton of questions. And, and this guy listens to the show every day and still didn't buy when they had the chance to get him at $10. But the fascinating thing, and I was watching the stream you did with Greeny and Craig, and Craig was like, yeah, I sold at $650. I was like, oh, I'll buy on the retrace when I wake back up. He wakes back up. It's like 8 to 10x where he sold. Then he's priced out. Greeny was so bullish that he ended up buying right there at the stream or right at the end of the stream, activated to tier 3. It's interesting, the comments that I see, because the community is diverse, where you have just meme coin traders, people that are trading the meme. Then you have people that are trading the NFT. You have people that are trading the arbitrage, whether it's, you know, through the site and the LP. So like, I think you're kind of bringing in like so many different aspects from different parts of Web3 that it's creating quite a diverse community. But in one of the points that has been brought up on this space is that, oh, well, there's not very many activated NFTs, but it's like, bro, every day there's like another 50 activated NFTs because people are discovering what the actual utility of the NFT is. So I think that's growing at a pretty good rate. What do you think about that?
Yeah, look, I think in moments of price discovery, some people will flip out of activated brokers, which is fine. That's part of the game. That's actually how it's supposed to work, because that'll actually lead to more deflation. And the only thing that I really watch closely is obviously the holder count on the token is excellent. But then when I will see NFT buys that are above the floor, like the non-WETH purchases, I'm always hoping that there's people there who are like OG punks, people who are, pudgies or bored apes, and especially with the ones that have like streams or X spaces and stuff like that, because that is like that becomes a superpower. Because imagine if like yourself, Greeny, and 10, 15 other shows, all these people hold a stockbroker and they have activated brokers. So they're collectively owning the stonk launchpad. And then we get an interesting token on the launchpad. That token suddenly has distribution across all of these channels because all of those hosts are essentially incentivized to get the word out about these positive projects that they're benefiting from on the back end through the stock token distributions.
Yeah, 100%.
By the way, you made this point kind of briefly earlier, and you just spelled it out much better there. And I keep trying to make this point that I'm trying to get across to the abstract guys right now, is that like a PFP community is a superpower. It is the number one vehicle to get a group of people acting tribally and going viral together on the timeline, which attracts a lot of attention. I think that's a huge utility for these stockbrokers, is that you have a PFP and a bunch of people proudly wearing them all over the timeline. People go, what is that? I see a bunch of these in the space. I'm seeing a bunch of these all over the timeline. It's a great way to attract attention to, the utility side of it.
Well,
and that's for sure the bet here, like 100%. And sorry for interrupting you, Jesus. But my bet is that NFT communities are the best communities in crypto, and that when they get paired with proper protocols and utility that give them financial incentivization, they're about to prove that point. And this is going to be like a real game changer, because this has actually been like, this is not a secret. Actually, big companies have studied the data and they realized, oh, NFT communities are a great source of marketing. And that's why NFT communities get a lot of airdrops for new tokens. They'll be like, because they want those communities to tweet about these things. And what I'm saying is this is taking that to a new level.
Hey, can you break down what the clock in is and the overtime? And are there any benefits to this? Because like clock in is almost becoming the meme. I think it is the meme side of stockbrokers, or part of it. And but can you kind of break this down for people so they actually understand what the hell this is?
Yeah, I mean, so clock in is really just about developing culture, like a cultural aspect on the chain. And it's also the mind trick, so people understand, like when they're going in to click or look at this button, you're clocking in to do a little bit of bag work for the day, and whatever that may be. Some people are talented individual developers, some people are talented marketers, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that cultural component is key to the success of a community. And it's something that actually Robinhood chain is going to want to lean into, because a lot of chains started to get really interesting, never developed any culture, and then did extremely poorly. So I think that's actually really critical for a successful blockchain. I think there's been some small chains that have developed a lot of culture. So I think like Ape Chain was a good example. Ape Chain developed a lot of culture and actually I think punched well above its weight for a really long time, which is important. So when a big chain develops culture, it becomes even more like substantial. The process itself is that it's a permissionless feature that anybody can click. It's actually a permissionless distribution. So people pay like $2 or $3 to actually complete a clock in because it's an airdrop of, stock tokens to 1,600 wallets, and you're actually executing the swap as well to those wallets. So you're actually kind of giving back, especially if you only have like one tier 1 activated broker. You might be spending $3 on gas and only getting like $1 back or something, maybe even less at some points. But this is something we can track, right? Then we can really track how active that community member is, and maybe in the future look at things that like reward these people and actually list users based on their participation too. So this morning, I actually got the list of the top 20 clock-ins, and the crazy thing is nobody has more than 2%. It's not like one person doing it all. It's really, really this crazy random list of people who are doing this clock-in. So it's catching on, and I went ahead and airdropped $50 of GameStop stock tokens to the top 20 clock-in users on the platform.
Nice. Yeah. Like I thought it would be kind of cool to show like a counter for like how much work you put in. And then there'd just be like some little DJing message. Just like, hey bro, you need to put in more work or something like that. Like you're lagging. Just something to kind of encourage people. But, cause like, even when I try to do it, so the meter fills up different for everybody, right? Or is it just once it fills up, you got to hit the buttons?
Yeah, it's a universal meter. And the reason that we actually added overtime is because I realized a lot of the royalties we were getting in wrapped ETH instead of ETH. And the first clock-in button wasn't built in to receive wrapped ETH. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to have to run a bot for the rest of my life for this thing to work. So then we added the overtime button where we could add more stock tokens. And that overtime button actually swaps any token that's in it for stock tokens and then conducts an airdrop.
Nice. Yeah, because like, I don't know how many I've even done. Like, and sometimes I hit it, but then was that me or was that somebody else, or am I even contributing? Because I want to contribute. And it's a very minimal fee anyways, right? I mean, it's just, it's not a lot of money that you're doing to contribute to the cause. So, yeah. So right now there's Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, SpaceX, Silver. Like how often are there going to be new assets added into the drops?
So I've built this contract in a way that it can actually plug into an additional contract where later I can add a governance feature where then the brokers can collectively, we can either say it's the people who have the NFT or people who have a certain amount of the token, or make it equal, essentially vote together and decide on which stock tokens are purchased. And like I said, I want to make it fully permissionless on chain. So that would be a feature then that is actually conducted just like the clock-in button by anybody through the smart contract. If that system essentially gets enough votes that the community picks like, hey, this month we want to buy GameStop, next month we want to buy, Microsoft, et cetera, et cetera. And then I think it gets really, really interesting because that system will allow for us to target any CA. And so then essentially, let's say like the brokers themselves see a really interesting token that comes through on special projects. Like a really unique launch, right? That is some developer that has come in and he wants to get the spotlight. And then the brokers vote to have that CA, to have that token be the full buying power of the clock-in button go into that token. I think that's like a really, really interesting social experiment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going to see more levels of people as, because we are having, I think we're kind of consolidating here. And I think it's a good time that people are actually leveling up. Are you tracking that in the back end? How many people are actually, tearing up during this time right now?
Yeah, there's more activations right now for during consolidation. Actually, when the chart is choppier, when it gets more up and down, either direction, the fees are higher. So the more flat the chart gets, the fees go lower because it's arbitrage powered with phase 1 right now. Obviously, the game changes when it's phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4 active as well. But for now, that's just what I've been watching and what I noticed. But that makes sense given that it's an arbitrage powered scenario at the moment.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is there's been a lot of NFT holders that have entered in, like good people who have, some people that haven't bought an NFT in like 3 years have gone into this. And these are people that I've noticed have like, $9 million worth of NFTs, like 10 punks in their wallet. And they've got in. I'm like, wow, that's a great holder.
Hey,
that's somebody who believes in the technology.
I seen that wallet.
Yeah.
There was one guy I bought. He had 13 punks, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
No, I mean,
it's cool.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah,
of course. And I think those are positive signals. It's like these are people who I think believe probably in crypto and NFT technology, but maybe haven't seen anything innovative for a while. And so now they see this as an interesting concept. So I'm like, okay, you're triggering some interest there, which I think is important to a successful experiment. But I think the important thing now is that, I think on Robinhood chain, people are like, oh, what's going to happen when, the chain starts getting a little less attention? Or we have a new chain right now. It's like a stable chain. Look, the chains that launch that don't have distribution are not going to do well. They might do well for one day. And so people are like, oh, Robinhood chain did well. No, Robinhood chain did well, and it will continue to do well because they have distribution and they have new technology. Another L1 blockchain that has a name that nobody on your street can ever recognize, the monads of the world, respectfully, they're not going to do that great long term. They're not, unless they find niche or interesting technology that differentiates them from the rest, or wait paths to distribution that differentiate them from the rest. Robinhood chain has both interesting technology and paths to distribution to differentiate them. And they have Vlad, who is going to do something. He already did it 4 times. He knows he has to trigger events on his chain, especially in the early days, because it's a massive financial investment for them. Now, for us, it's important as stockbrokers is that a Vlad retweet, like, follow, PFP, whatever, on stockbrokers, on my own account, doesn't become a top signal. Like, that can't be the top signal. So ideally, the infrastructure is built in a way that it can really, really scale regardless of what Vlad does. Because you can't sit back with the expectation that you're going to build with that as your like core principle. It's like, hey, we're going to wait for Vlad to like this and this is going to save us. Like, that can't be the way that, that you participate in this process.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because the guy, I don't know, I can't remember the CEO's name of that stable coin, that stable chain is, he's out here liking and commenting on coins as well. He's kind of like trying to emulate what Vlad is doing. And I just don't think that's going to have much impact. Kenny, did you get in any of those coins? I'm sure you jumped over there on that chain. What was it again? It starts with an S. I can't even remember.
Stable. It's the stable.
It is
chain.
stable.
Yeah,
okay.
It was actually kind of hard to do it initially. There were liquidity problems. People were having failed swaps. I did get like access to FIFA, which is, I guess, the main runner over there, like around $1 million. I know it was at 3 mil. I don't know what it's at right now. It's done pretty well, but yeah, it was essentially kind of hard to bridge over there initially. You had to use GUST, I think, or it was hard to kind of route money over to that chain initially. Now I believe it's gotten easier over the past 24 hours. I do believe there's a FIFA swap now where you can just swap to get onto the stable chain. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, look, obviously the first 48 hours of anything new are going to be the most volatile and potential to make money. But whether it has staying power or not, that's TBD. I don't necessarily know if it does, but you know how this space is. It's very rotational. So as soon as they see a new shiny object, they jump all over it. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, attention doesn't last long. And maybe that's why we are seeing some of these dips on Robinhood. And then people are going to ape the fuck back in. So I'm assuming, if you have some liquidity, go fucking, go grab what your favorites are right now, Kenny, because I do think as we get closer to the weekend, we kind of run back up on some of these things. It's looking kind of red out here for the most part.
And I think the strategy, I mean, look, if you're just looking from the position of the leader, what you're realizing is that distribution in the trenches of crypto is coming from a lot from people. The long-term users are most like community, like NFT people like us, right? The short-term flippers flipping between chains are like a lot of meme coin traders and high, like quick speculators. And so they're looking at what is their highest potential jackpot moment. And so right now, Robinhood chain, you have jackpot moments when Vlad follows an account.
Yeah.
That's one layer. What is the mega jackpot? I think we haven't seen it yet. And that is most likely a listing on the Robinhood centralized exchange.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. The listing is the all, like that's where you're going to see a coin just get to what, 500 mil, if not more.
Right. But look, there is mini jackpot moments, which are listings on smaller centralized exchanges. So there can be other T1s or T2 exchanges. Look, Stockbroker has gotten listed on 3 tier 3 centralized exchanges out to anybody. And centralized exchanges, in order to essentially have compatibility with the Arbitrum Layer 2 blockchain, they have to plug into the technology to get withdrawals and deposits, essentially. That takes a moment. And it's not like, oh, Gate.io listed this token on Robinhood chain. This is something that has to be planned. This is BD discussion in the background. The Robinhood chain team has been preparing essentially the foundation for this experience that we're having right now.
Yeah.
They've prepared the centralized exchanges to be ready to enable deposits and withdrawals for their blockchain and then list tokens that are coming on their blockchain. You don't have centralized exchange listings for tokens on Abstract, do you? You don't have centralized exchange listings for token on ApeChain, do you? Why? Because this has been prepared differently.
So you think they're ready to go, and you think how long do you think before the first listing happens on Robinhood?
I think they'll continue this process a little and continue to monitor who sticks around and who's not just like a leech, because you don't want to lift up leeches and grifters. You want to lift up, the long-term folks. They're going to wait a little more. They can do that trigger move a couple of times to Vlad following projects, which maybe he likes or which his team advises him are healthy projects that look good, that have good distribution and good community, and have good long-term potential. And then I think the first thing you're going to see is a little bit better T2 and T1 centralized exchange listings, and that's going to give major distribution. So that's where you'll see like the Gate.ios of the world, and maybe like a Binance, for example, listing a token that's on Robinhood chain. I think that'll be the natural path to progression. And then the big moment is that first Robinhood centralized exchange listing. And when that happens, people are all going to chase that moment and chase tokens that can reach that moment because it's going to represent like a 1000x.
Yeah. And that's why, like, even when I was talking to Name Brand last night and anyone that I speak with, I'm like, what Stockbrokers is bringing to the table is, I mean, it's literally a little bit of everything that Robinhood's looking for. It gives them NFTs, it gives them memes, it gives them the RWAs. Will there the agentic side, I guess, with that plugin you said that's going to happen at some point. Like, I mean, it's given every single aspect of what Robinhood stands for in one project. And yeah, I don't see how this doesn't go much higher. That's just me, not financial advice. Same from Simple Farm here, but yeah, I mean, you're building a fucking machine, bro. So GG's.
Yeah, I do think the RWA stuff is really what's the most interesting on Robinhood Chain to me personally, just because initially that's kind of why they wanted to create Robinhood Chain was, distribution for RWA and tokenized equities. And, you look at stuff like long.xyz, they did 48 mil in RWA volume yesterday. It accounted for 87% of all the RWA activity on chain. And that's basically just pairing coins to an equity like NVIDIA or SpaceX or GameStop. So I do think that narrative is really interesting. because it creates buy pressure on the actual equities itself too. So like if the underlying asset does well, the coin will do well. Like the AI token, the artificial Inu, which, you know, their LP is all NVIDIA, well, mostly NVIDIA and the AI token, but they literally every transaction are taking fragments of that transaction and buying NVIDIA. It's a cool concept. You know, I think it's a really cool concept, and it's still novel and still new. So, you know, how does it progress over the next 3 months, 6 months? Is going to be really interesting. So, yeah, I do love the meme side of it as well, because I do think, you know, eventually Robinhood will list a meme off of their Robinhood chain, and it'll go parabolic, and that, you know, the rising tide lifts all boats type situation for the meme coins on chain over there. But I do like the RWA aspect. I think that's probably going to be, you know, the main narrative over the coming months. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I think it might not be a meme. That's the one thing that might surprise somebody. I think it might not be a meme. We'll see though. What I would really love is, like, obviously, you know, if the launch pad gets super great distribution in the DEX, and there's really like a surplus of protocol fees as well. I would love to take, just from like the treasury side, a large percentage or a large amount of those protocol fees. You know, if we can get up to like even like $1 million would be great, and buy like NVIDIA stock, and then pair that NVIDIA stock with the stockbroker token. And then you have the NFT that not only holds these equities, but is also supported by liquidity through these equities, and then moves with those equities as well.
Yes, I love that idea. I think you should do that for sure. It's a great idea.
Kenny, when are you going to get a fucking stockbroker?
Yeah, I'll get there. I'm flipping my way up to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wasn't going to do this, but fuck, why not? Why not? Kyle, how are you feeling about your stockbroker holdings?
I'm going to jump.
Yeah, it's simple. He traded himself out of the position before the mint even occurred.
The real question is,
what
was the first buy
last
after
few
that?
weeks.
Nothing.
Like, I think I bought some Robinhood tokens with the liquidity.
Bro,
I was like slammed busy. It was the night of the burn, and I still didn't quite understand how to do it all. And I was like, dude, fuck, I'm up 3x. Like, I have to go to bed. I have to work tomorrow. I cheated like the retard that I am. And, you know, I watched all my friends ride off into the sunset with their big fat bags the next day. But hey, man, nonetheless, I might have run it up in myself, but dude, I've been rooting for you guys the whole time. I mean, you know, I hit you up to come through Alpha Space. I'm loving hearing you here. Anybody ask me about stockbrokers, man, it's the shit. I tell everybody, I'm a big fan of you. You know, and furthermore, I want to see, and not just you, I want to see all kinds of shit win in the space. You know, I think we need more positive action, more success stories, more winning, so that people feel attracted to come back to the space and raise up all our bags. So as much as I am coping with the huge mismanagement of the play on my part, I am very happy to see it all happening at the same time, man. It's great.
Yeah, you know, I don't think it personally at all. The trading portion is really important to the flywheel. So it's important that people buy and sell. But I think if you have that goal in mind specifically, and you'd like to be a participant in that process, the Launchpad, and especially us having the special projects section where we're hosting, essentially becoming an incubator for new experimental technologies, means that if you're a stockbroker, you'll not only have a piece of every single one of those launches, but you'll be like the earliest to know, and you can be a curator. So we can kind of, me, you, all the other space hosts, we can collectively kind of monitor and see people come up with good ideas and help promote them and do well at the same time.
Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, I've been
got a good idea.
What's your good idea? Well, you don't want to say the good idea on Spaces, then somebody's going to take the good idea.
Well, it's for a simple farmer for the platform.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'll talk to him in private.
No, well, go ahead. Tell him.
I just think that like a gotcha style game with RWAs would be really cool. That's something you could potentially launch. I mean, you see what FWA is doing right now, the fake world assets, right? You're seeing, I mean, that's at what, 11 million. Basically, it's a gotcha for NFTs, right? Where you pair the NFT to actual ETH, and then like you have this option of, taking the NFT. I saw somebody won a CryptoPunk yesterday on that.
The day before yesterday, and here's the wild story. The day before yesterday, the guy wins the CryptoPunk 0.06 ETH. I'm sharing it live on stream right now. Basically, I can go buy one NFT right now for 0.0885. I buy the NFT. I get an NFT, but it's not revealed. You don't know what it is. You either keep it or you exchange it back for the high bid that the auto bidding that's there. I don't know what the auto bid is. It could be 0.06 ETH. But you got to take the risk to reveal the NFT. Well, the guy did that. Turns out the guy who won the CryptoPunk is the guy who had his original CryptoPunk stolen off of the first iteration of this site. And Adam posted that last night, so not only did the guy have his original punk stolen, he was reimbursed like heavily above the floor of a CryptoPunk, and then wins one of the fucking CryptoPunks. And then yesterday, somebody won for 0.04 ETH. Yesterday, somebody won a Mask of Lucy. That's valued at 70.
Somebody won a big NFT and opted to keep the FWA token in place of the, because that's basically, essentially, you cannot buy FWA. Like, you have to actually play the game to earn FWA is the way it kind of works right now. From my understanding, I was listening a little bit to Thread Guy's stream this morning. He had Adam on, and they were talking about like the game mechanics of it. So essentially, like, it's like farming, but you have to actually play to farm it, right? And you have the option to either keep the NFT or take the ETH for like 15% less, or somewhere along the way. That's how you get FWA, is by playing the game. So, and the coin's doing really well. It's up to like back up to I think almost 11 mil in market cap. So, cool concept, really cool concept. I'm curious to see how it evolves over time. It's only been about a week and a half, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Jesus, about 6 months ago, we were developing for heavy metal. I was working for Adam Weitzman, but under Gabe's management. And I said specifically, they were trying to figure out ideas, what they can do that's a creative, good thing that they can build. And I said, you should build an NFT gachapon. You're one of the only people that has enough liquidity to fill a gachapon properly with NFTs. And so I'm really glad to see that this idea came to fruition somewhere, and I'm glad to see it successful and people are enjoying it in the space. Although I do believe that RWA-powered gachapons like Pokemon ones will do better because it still doesn't solve the asset of illiquid NFT assets. I think it's interesting for NFT people, but not as interesting for outsiders, which is a problem when our main goal is to bring in more people in general to NFTs.
It all goes back to distribution.
I imagine, spending $100 spin and winning $1,000 of NVIDIA, which is going to appreciate over time. That seems like a pretty cool concept in my personal opinion.
For sure.
Yeah, they got some dope ass NFTs on here though. They have Beeples. They have all kinds of shit on here, man. Jesus Christ Almighty. Yeah, and he's sweeping the hell out of floors. Adam and they swept a bunch of V friends last night, and Gary V put a post out with a video showing the sweep. He's like, I don't know who this is, but whoever it is, I want to connect with all the whales in my project. And fucking Adam quote tweeted him and was like, join up at FWA and whatnot. So, yeah, it'll be cool. I almost sent. I never sent anybody anything, but I wonder if Adam has actually seen what you built with Stonkbrokers. Because I don't think he's even dabbled around on Robinhood with any NFTs or anything yet. So
look, I think they made really good money. They made really good money with 10,000 tokens, and they had to come up with a way to make that still lucrative for people without losing all of their long-term believers. Because I think after you have a flop like that, people tend to worry about the next thing. But then when you make the next thing a burn to mint process, like we did with PopCup, now they did that with 10,000 tokens, it works. Yeah, it's obvious now. It's been proven twice that model works.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it revives a community. Definitely fucking does. Shout out to all the other listeners down there in the bottom. I appreciate you. You can show your faces. There's 8 of you down there. There was 10. But we appreciate you listening in public or in the shadows. Either way, it doesn't matter. We appreciate
You
it.
have pissed off at least one rando who I've never seen before in the Creepz Discord too by not talking about Creepz yet so far.
Have I? Oh, well, he'll be all right. He, she, he, her, she, he or her, whatever they go by, they will be okay. Doesn't break my heart any. But before we get to talking to Creepz, I want to make sure that we have touched everything that we needed to with you, Simple Farmer, because that, I'm sure you've seen it on the timeline, but Creepz was acquired by Unserious. And so we're going to dive into that for a little bit and do a little bit of speculating here. But Adam Weitzman, speaking of him as well, he acquired 600, I think it was 686 Creepz from the Treasury. Let me go check that exact number, but and he's
not even really from the Treasury. That it like was the Treasury. Like I'm pretty sure he basically got the whole thing, right?
Yeah, he bought the whole entire thing. 684. Adam G did 2 of them. I'm messing with you. He doesn't sell anything he buys. But so he's closely connected with whoever these new founders are. So the Creepz community has some excitement, something to talk about, which I'm happy for him. But before we jump into that, Simple, do we have anything else that we didn't touch on, man?
Oh, not from my end, no. We're
cool.
good, guys. I hijacked it anyways, and it came in at the wrong time.
It don't matter, bro. Like I said, you come in, you fucking, you hit the request. I don't care what these two. I'll kick them off the stage, and I'll fucking make you the co-host, and then we'll fucking just run it.
I appreciate it.
Calm down now.
Calm down.
We only need to kick one person to make room for Simple Farmer, and one of us shows up every day.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. But next week, we're going to get you back in here again because I want to be in hold on. What time is the launch pad? 8 p.m. Eastern. Bro, we love these fucking late night calls. You know what I mean? Well, maybe Friday night. We'll see what's happening Friday night. Maybe we throw up a space and, invite the whole Stonk community in and Stonk brokers community in and, see what the fuck's happening.
I don't know.
Oh, did he rug or did I rug?
He rug, but I guess that was a pretty good time, I guess. I mean, at least we got through all of it first.
I didn't hear what he said. All I heard is I think or whatever. I think he was going to say, I think we can make that happen. But either way. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Fucking Creepz acquired by Unserious. How serious is this, Kenny? Kyle?
It's fucking serious, bro.
It's
I'm
serious.
excited.
I would say it's seriously unserious.
Seriously unserious. So the tweet reads, today we're pumped to share that Unserious Inc. has acquired Creepz with backing from Adam Weitzman and continued support from the Creepz founders through this transition. Creepz enters a new chapter led by a team with deep expertise in brand building across crypto, consumer, and entertainment. The Unserious team brings experience leading major strategic launches from numerous projects, most notably ApeCoin, one of the largest token launches in crypto history. This next chapter also marks the return of Cychrome. Thank you, fucking Lord. At the helm of the IP development and Creepz creative direction. A global exhibit artist with commercial collaboration spanning Nike, Solomon, fucking SneakerCon. SneakerCon's the best fucking one. Staple, Disney, Warner Brothers. We're excited for the future of Ticker Creepz and all the chaos we have in store. We'd also like to take this opportunity to deny the existence of lizard people, their evil activities, and our plans for world domination. Candles up.
So I'm just supposed to believe that Hillary Clinton's a human now?
Yeah, or Kamala Harris. But I want to jump real quick before we dive into it because I do want to give a shout out to Vel. Vel, when you go into the Discord, you can read this message there. Vel will continue leading the community day to day. Once the wider team has settled into their new roles, we'll begin introducing ourselves one by one. We'll keep the communication as open as possible so you can ask questions, get to know the people behind the next chapter, and understand how we're thinking about the future of Creepz. We know trust isn't built through one announcement. It's built through consistency, communication, and execution. That starts now. There's a lot more to share in the coming weeks. For now, just know that Creepz is in the hands of people who genuinely understand what makes it special, and who have the capability, connections, and ambitions to take the IP mainstream. They did talk about, well, here, I'll just read this. We already have some crazy shit planned, but we're not here to sell you on a distant roadmap or make empty promises. We're here to make you fall in love with the lizards again, and we'll do that through the quality of what we put in front of you, and more importantly, what we put in front of the world. Big fucking words, unserious. Adam Weitzman. I don't know who the fuck you are. What if I do know who they are, Kenny? And it's all just a LARP. And it's all just a LARP.
Who they are. So don't act like you do.
Either way, it is bullish, because I have a lot of friends that have big fucking bags and Creepz that have been holding it down. Martin fucking has probably checked himself in and out of the hospital 100 fucking times. There's probably a therapist shortage in fucking in Florida because of the community has been through some of the biggest swings and ups and downs and promises, and so I'm excited for the community. I'm excited to see them get I'm excited to see all of us get a big win. I don't have nowhere near as many Creepz. I'm not going into that fucking sad story. Everything rugged, whatever. But I'm excited for my friends, because a lot of them still have big bags, and I want to see them make it and come out of this thing on the other side. So any Creepz that are listening or do listen back to this, just because I don't have a fucking PFP on doesn't mean that I don't still support you guys. I do wish the best for the Creepz community. So Kenny, Kyle, whichever one of y'all want to fucking.
So I was just going to say, to me, the highlights of all of that are, well, okay, just to start off, I'm really happy to see Val still keeping his position. Yeah. Love the guy. I think he's done a tremendous job in the Discord. Cychrome coming back, huge. Goes a long way for community sentiment. I mean, dude, the artist having a negative relationship with the founders was, I think, always in the back of the minds of all of the holders as a pretty derogatory thing. And then the confirmation of Ticker Creepz still being a thing, right? I think that's be positive about there. Beyond that, I mean, everything's still pretty nebulous, right? I mean, I don't know who the unserious team is. They're going to reveal themselves one time, it said. We can look forward to that. Hopefully they are all individuals that give us even more reason to be bullish. But we'll see. We'll see as that rolls out. Yeah, I mean, it's a good announcement right out of the gate. It still leaves a lot to the imagination, but definitely some really positive first steps.
Yeah.
On the heels of Adam Weitzman's acquisition of the treasury a couple weeks ago. So, Hey, awesome. I mean, look, I still have 3 Creepz myself. So, and even if I didn't, as I said to Simple Farmer just a minute ago, even if I had no Creepz at all, I'd be rooting for all of this, because, man, like I said, the more positive news in Web3 in general, the better. Creepz was, a huge IP in the 2021 cycle that everybody remembers as like the huge meta of NFTs, right? It is arguably one of the blue chip IPs from that cycle, assuming they can get its legs back under it again. So, people hearing about that, about Creepz coming back, I think it's bullish for the entire space, not even just Creepz alone. Rooting for it in a big way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Adam said that his, I was trying to get him in the space today. It was kind of last minute. What he's always said on many spaces is that, he's buying all these NFTs, buying all these one-on-ones because he wants to connect with every fucking community. Now, some communities, he leans in more. He bought a fuck ton of Meebits. He's the largest ape coin holder. I think he holds more ape coin than Uniswap. He's the largest holder of other deeds. He has one-on-ones in damn near every project.
Did he buy the heavy metal project?
Yeah. He's part owner in heavy metal with Gabe. So will there be collabs that happen with heavy metal and Gabe and whoever the unserious team is? I almost 100% think we'll see Creepz inside the other side pretty quickly. A lot of the other activations, I don't know. But then I see the tweet this morning and I get a little bit like, oh, is Joe still writing the fucking copy for the tweets? Because their tweet this morning from Unserious says, Creepz is our flagship IP under Unserious, our Mickey Mouse. And our job isn't done until it becomes what everyone who stuck around always believed it could be. First off, Unserious, there's only one fucking Mickey Mouse in fucking Creepz, and that's fucking my PFP, bitches. Second off,
wait. No way you've convinced yourself that you own a one-of-one.
No, I don't.
You've convinced
I
yourself.
don't. No, there's other
one-of-one.
there's other Mickey PFPs, but the only one that matters to me is mine. But either way, just like them saying it's our Mickey Mouse, it's like, fuck, Dom and Joe said that shit for fucking 5 years. So it's like,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The whole announcement does read,
yeah,
very similarly to the way every announcement ever has read. It just, I don't know.
It does.
I was telling Kenny, I wonder if we did a Scooby-Doo style villain reveal at the end, if we wouldn't pull the mask off and it's just Joe and Dom. But hey, look, man, if they're willing to get behind it again and put a face on the community side of things, someone to really manage. Look, the biggest ball they ever dropped, all the stuff that they did, they swung fucking moon and fell short, and I can't blame them for that. They completely mismanaged the community side. That's always been my issue. So if they have
1 million
become self-aware enough to really tackle the community side of things, really win back over the community, bringing Cyclone back, putting somebody up as the face of Creepz to interact with the community and everything, I can get behind that.
Look, Simple Former was just talking about how community kind of drives things and how, he's banking on the community as far as like the platform that he's going to launch. Community is, in essence, the key to a good collection, right? And the Creepz community is fucking awesome. It's been awesome for 4 years. Yes, we've been through the fucking ringer. Trust was broken. There was a lot of radio silence for a period of time there. So, this feels like a good reset, right? Because what are the facts? The facts are Creepz are a top 10 project. 27.4 thousand ETH in volume, which at the current price of ETH, that's $72 million in trading volume on the Creepz collection, which, I mean, there's no denying it's a top collection. The art is fucking awesome. Cyclone's goated, like the IP is great. And this is a good reset. Are Joe and Dom still involved? I'm sure they are. I don't think they don't want to be involved. I just think that they came to the realization that, maybe we need to put a new face out in front of this and try and establish, a good relationship with the community, because things did go a little bit haywire for a while there, and this is a good reset in my personal opinion. I think the IP is great. I think the community is great. I think it's got all the ingredients for it to be a top, back at the top 3, top 4 collections on Ethereum. And I think this is a good first step to getting there. What Unserious is going to do from this point, we'll see. Who's behind it, we'll find out in the future. But this is a good first step in rectifying the community sentiment and kind of getting the name back out there where it belongs to be. Because, in my opinion, Creepz are always going to be number one in my heart. So this is a good first step.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know where it's going to go. They obviously mentioned ticker Creepz. Noah and Adam is attached to it. Very forward facing public figure, not just in NFTs, but in IRL business.
And very, very well respected as well, too, amongst the Web3 and collectors of NFTs, So, like, if he's putting his stamp of approval on something, it means something, like him acquiring 600 plus NFTs, just shows his belief in what this product can become, and I think it's extremely bullish, and we'll see how things play out. I'm very optimistic. I think, again, bringing Cyclone back into the fold, like, and having him, be able to spin up some new cool IP around Creepz, whatever it may be, or just, because that was one thing we were missing, and we were kind of leaning away from the original Creepz PFP for the past couple of years with these new kind of characters, obviously for the Web3 gaming side of things. But, hopefully we lean back into the original artwork like the PFPs and start seeing some cool stuff, coming out in that regard. Acquiring him makes me think that they're going to do something else. Obviously he's an artist, so they want him to create some art for something, right? What's that going to be? I don't know. Maybe IDL's come back. Who knows? I don't have a vote of confidence on one way or the other, but what we do know is it's fucking bullish, bro. I'm excited, and I'm excited for this community because look, we've been through the fucking ringer, bro. It's been 4+ years. We're going on it'll be 5 years.
It'll be 5 years this year. Yeah.
Right.
5 years. But
so,
bro, the same song and dance has happened in several other communities. People had opportunities to sell. Even during the portal days, I FOMO and bought a creep at like 5.75 ETH. So like that's where the fucking discipline and like setting targets and de-risking comes into play. And it's like anybody that still loves Creepz, but they want to make some of their money back, pay the fuck attention, lock in. If there's opportunities to sell at price points, you need to set realistic targets and, take some fucking money off the table this time. Because if you're bitching in 3 years about, oh my God, this new team ain't done shit, like, and then you're still holding the same amount of Creepz, then no, you didn't do shit. So at the same time, now, who knows? Maybe they just fucking say, you know what? We're going to change everything and we're going to burn all the Creepz and give you new art. Cychrome's upgrading. Man, that'd be wild. I'm not going to get people going on that, but a lot of conspiracy shit we get through though, but not going to do it today. Because there's definitely more I want to talk on it. I hope the guys, I hope this new team is locked the fuck in. I have a feeling they are, and we'll see what they do. Hey, maybe I can convince Cychrome to tell them to bring back secondaries. What do you think, Kenny? Like,
oh, man, let's go. I want secondaries too.
Yeah, there's no artist.
I think this other team. I think this other. Hold on, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, there's no artist that wants to see their artwork like banned into the fucking shadows of a staking contract. Like, fucking bring that shit back, Cychrome. Bring it all back, and find some fucking utility for it. I'm sure they can figure out something. Trust me, I got about 8,500 ideas with all that stuff.
Yeah, we know you do. I'm curious what the unhinged Twitter account was, because I was following it.
So was I.
And we had this conversation in the back channels.
Yeah.
As to what platform it was or what Twitter handle it was before this. But when I saw the tweet, I had noticed I was following it already. So does anyone have any ideas as to what it was?
Bro, I don't know. Put Claude on the mission, and we went through so many different websites and Gits that we were trying to figure out. We couldn't figure out what the other handles were. None of these websites, nobody had a record of it. Some of them you can go in and you can see, oh yeah, this account, whether there was snapshots done. Some of these websites do snapshots of things, of handles and X data through time. And just can't figure anything out. So I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely been changed 5 times. 5 username changes last in June 2026, connected via the Australia App Store. So I'm going to say it's either Creepstopia. I'm going to say it could be Flynn, even though he doesn't live in Australia anymore. He is Australian. What other Australians are in? Could be, it also could be
JD.
JD. Yeah. Could be Rodney. Could be several of these fucking blokes, as they call each other. Do they call each other blokes in Australia? Kenny, do we know?
I mean, I'm not Australian, I think that's more of an English term.
Oh, well, the fuck, they speak close enough to it. Yeah, so either way, I mean, the account's tweeting. We'll see what happens. but it's just part of this, you know, it's all marketing, like the content of the tweet. You know, how their tweeter 3 hours ago, having worked with Ape Queen, wrecked World Star, Animoca, Happy Dad, Gel Blaster, and Ubisoft. Our leadership team sits at the intersection of Web3, IP, CPG, and entertainment. But it's like, we said this before. Was this new CEO? Was he the janitor for Happy Dad? Or was he right there working with the fucking boys, distributing Happy Dad beverages? You know, Gel Blasters. Is Luca Nets part of the fucking team? Luca Nets was slinging Gel Blasters like a fucking, like a dude on a corner slinging crack rocks, you know? So is Luca Nets part of Unserious? Now, here's the next thing, though. I seen something that said this is a Miami-based investment group that Unserious is. And if you think about what happened back when Luca had his meeting with all those founders, and he said he wanted to form a coalition of like a way to bring NFTs back. I mean, you don't think this is some group that has been formed to revive NFT collections? And it's like a group of founders or a group of investors or something. I mean, that's a stretch. It's a stretch, but they are out of Miami. That's one of the articles. Where the fuck is that article at? Did you see the article I was talking about? Let me find this real quick, and I'll pin it to the top. That way, all you conspiracy theory driven creeps can do this. Let me pull this up. Here it is right here. Yeah, so this was from Fundraising Digest. Let me pin this up to the top. Everybody can go. You can fucking see for this for yourself. All right, it's taking a second on my phone. All right, so from Fundraising Digest, Unserious has acquired Creepz, about Web3 gaming and entertainment universe built around the Creepz IP ecosystem. Acquired by Miami-based Web3 venture focused on reimagining decentralized brands. Recently acquired the popular NFT collection. So they're out of Miami. Fucking Martin gets word of this, bro. His ass is going to Miami. He's fucking locking in. So yeah, I don't know. And Luca Nets is in Miami, but there's a lot of crypto brands in Miami. So it's going to be interesting to find out who these guys are. Yeah, we just have to stay locked in, Kenny Powers. So yeah, I mean, that's about the gist of it. We just don't have any more information. So
yeah, well, I'm excited as we do start to get more information, you know, regarding Creepz to really dive into it, because again, you know, a lot of friendships were made in this community. I fucking love everybody who's part of the Creepz community, and you know, I miss being able to talk and speculate on what's coming next for Creepz, you know, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of good times, you know, with everybody who's been a part of it. So I'm excited to get back to doing that again. That's going to be a lot of fun when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right. What else did we have? Not going to cover any of the other stuff that we didn't talk about. BZ's now on Solana. Kaido coming back fucking strong. They entered an agreement with X to have a data agreement. Looks like they're going to be scraping the fuck out of the timeline. So pay attention to Kaido. I'm going to be checking it out, obviously, but I am a fan of Zeet. Use Vault 777. One of my partners, please go check it out. You can go sign up using code Cheeses, daily spins, free packs, cash drops, all kinds of bullshit that we're giving away over there. Going to be doing a live stream here soon and giving away NFTs. I'm going to be personally giving away NFTs, cash. You can tip right on the platform. So a lot of cool stuff coming. So make sure you check out Use Vault 777 and get over there and start earning for ticker Vault. That's going to be dropping soon as well. Yeah. What else do we have? Make sure you go check out rcweb3.xyz. Come join us in the Discord. There is a reality check Discord. We're always hanging out in VC. It's not token gated. Anybody can come in. Just don't be an asshole or I will kick you out. But the Discord is right there on the website. Go give that a look. And yeah, and join us. You can get some live analysis from Kenny the 3 times that he's in there a month. So yeah, come check it out. What else do we have? Kyle, do you have anything else? I know you got busy there at work for a second and you had to dip out.
Yeah, I do not. I am kind of busy all of a sudden here. We got a few things we're working on. But yeah, that was it for me, man. Just happy for the whole Creepz community. Happy for the whole stockbrokers community, too. Happy that we managed to head fake everybody into thinking this was a Creepz space and then doubling up on the audience with the stockbrokers.
Yeah, bro, I am dead serious. Like, I was... for the Creepz community, just to let you know, during the space, if I did seem a little bit distracted, well, that's normal. But I was also talking to Cychrome as well, and Cychrome is going to be coming on the space soon. So look forward to that. I'll put a post out, obviously, and share it so everyone can see that. But we're just waiting for a few other things to line up, and then Cychrome will be on. And then just keep your noties on. Yeah, we'll get him in here, but, yeah, I don't know where else I was going with that. Kyle, I fucking lost my train of thought when I looked at something. Fuck, you see, I get distracted. It's fucking like squirrel. Yeah, I don't know, but either way, Creepz, you don't have to fucking go away. We're coming back right tomorrow. Same time, 11 a.m. Same time as we have been doing spaces for fucking years. So come tune in, hang out, drop comments, questions, anything like that. And anyone else new to the space, we appreciate you coming in. Oh, yeah, Simple Farmer. Bro, I'm telling you, I had him set up for Friday. It's all good. We were talking last night for a little bit, and I think just shit got mixed up. So either way, yeah, everybody have a good day. We will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. ST. And then, yeah, don't get rugged.